My name is Don Wiggins. I am in the Sports Marketing and Media program. For a different perspective on this assignment, and because I do not really know any artists, I interviewed Mike Johnson. He is a freelance writer and also writes for HorrorNews.net, as well as other sites and publications. I interviewed Mike through Facebook. What do you see as the role of visual arts in society today, particularly in your profession? Visual arts of today is much more than it was just a decade ago. The attention span of the average person is much less as we live in the I want it now world. In order to capture the attention of an audience, the imagery had to not only be easy to read, but must be impactful. A decade ago, camp was all that was needed, and the art gave much away. With the advent of the internet, we almost have to present a puzzle of sorts to engage curiosity. In film, this is increasingly important. Instead of painting style where the hero, villain, and plot were all there is, it becomes as minimalist and impactful as possible. Who's going to forget Saw? New communications and media technologies make imagery almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on your field? New media is a good thing if you're talking advertising, marketing, and spreading the word. The masses can be targeted and reached inexpensively and quickly. In that aspect, it is brilliant. But every new technology brings with it issues of poor use. Movies can be streaming before the final cut is made. Scripts can be thrown online that were found in a dustbin, and as soon as something is seen, it's spoiled. We have yet to learn how to be responsible. What popular images do you see that are frequently repeated throughout your industry? It will sound silly, but negative space. It used to be a cardinal sin to leave blank space. Now it's the trend to use as little space as possible. Superman, Transformers, any horror, sci-fi, or fantasy movie, negative space is gold. That is in direct correlation with my first answer and our need for ease and expediency. The tagline to major plot points is also used a lot more now than they have been since the shock cinema of the 50s. Who is one of your favorite visual artists, and or what is your favorite style of visual art? To answer correctly, I need to split it a bit because to me visual art is not always 2D. H.R. Giger is by far one of the best visual and conceptual artists of our time. His style has given us biomechanics as never imagined, which influences much of the movies and popular culture, from Aliens to steampunk, my favorite style. On the other edge of this spectrum, I'll always say it's Jim Henson. His work was masterful, impactful, and resonates throughout generations today. His visual artistry isn't limited to simple puppets because he revolutionized an industry and how it functions and can function between the real and imaginary as physical things. How has your knowledge of famous artworks influenced your creative process? I am primarily a writer, but we take our muse from all the art around us. It can be a Muppet or a piece of graffiti art. Famous or not, everything we see and touch and do is fuel for our process. I surround myself with the things I love the most, be it a childhood toy or the poster for my favorite movie. Our art is all-encompassing, and as such, every bit of it influences us. I wrote a short story that has been optioned based on seeing a liquor bottle.